Sweet.
All right, let's see if we are live again.
There you go.
There we go. Sorry,
Sweet.
stream. All right, Luth and I have been live again. Luth and I have been losing internet all day. It's been in and out all day, so sorry about that. I still got all you here. Great, cool. Here we go. Must stop looking at myself in. Okay. So, Marthala, you were saying that you came down to the down. You came down where everybody's eating breakfast, and you sit over by Druge.
Yeah, she'll sort of like she's made a conscious effort to compose herself. She's wiped her eyes and flattened down her hair and put on all her armor and stuff, and she'll make her way downstairs quietly. She doesn't really want to be noticed, and she'll make it a point to sit as close to Druge and as far away from Relic as possible.
Okay.
Come on in, Angel Vase. Come on down here and grab some bacon.
I'll just smile at her.
She will just ignore the words that come out of your face.
Pretty rude.
Trulina comes in and she's checking on the platters, and there's still enough bacon and eggs for everybody. And she puts a cup down in front of Marthala with some coffee in it, and she bustles away again. You can hear Pip and Toblin, the dad, out in the backyard doing something. It sounds like maybe chopping wood or something out the back door. The back door and the front door are open, and they're in a good enough. They're lined up enough that there's a good cross breeze growing. It's warming up as the sun gets higher over the horizon, and the chill is being warmed out of the room from the fire. It's a nice, good fire going, and you're all clustered. The tables are all around it, and you can hear the village, the town starting to more of the town starting to wake up, because there's quite a few people that get up with the dawn here. What do you guys do next? I believe Quentin was just talking about the manor and some jackals.
Oh, yeah. So I rolled a 4, and what did Druge roll?
I said that you guys didn't really pay attention to the... You rolled a 10. I said you guys didn't really pay attention to the whether or not jackals would have been local around here last time you were here. But,
fair enough.
But you asked that out loud, right?
Yeah, I would, like, if we didn't know, I'd ask the...
So Trillina's just in and out, and she says, jackals? No, those aren't, not down around here, but you never know what, I mean, the fuss that got kicked up at the manor, I wouldn't be surprised if there was something going on.
How long ago did the manor blow up?
That's an excellent question. And you know, the last time I looked at the answer to that question was like a month ago. So unless one of you know, I will have to flip through a book.
It was...
I thought it was pretty recent.
It was like 2 weeks ago or a week ago.
Yeah, but like recent, like this week or
I think it was like a week ago. It was a couple of days ago.
No,
No,
it
it's just
exploded a few days ago.
a few days ago, yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right.
Okay, what are you guys doing?
Well, clearly we should go take a look.
I'm down to take a look.
Well,
yeah, you think
we should probably go take a look, but also...
We get your coupons printing there?
What?
What's a coupon?
What?
Well, yeah, you know, Brandon here was going to try and run for mayor, and...
Oh.
It's right.
You know, as far
I mean,
as
I do need to get out there and grease some palms and grease some babies or whatever it is they do.
Yeah, I figured you don't have a lot of money. Coupons might be a little IOUs and get some people on your side.
Coupons.
You just do that on the way, right?
Probably.
Yeah, go get some signatures or something.
For the artifact and the the manor, not necessarily politicking.
You'll probably just leave if you get elected anyway. We might as well go check out the manor while we're here.
Wow.
Quentin's just sitting back and
No
watching
way,
all
man, what
this.
do you mean?
It's gonna come another
I'm
day.
still here, ain't I?
I think Harlech's potential social shoot, what's the word? Scene feelers will be like, oh, I should be further away. There's something's happening.
Something be brewing. Okay. I'm imagining that the layout of this room is like there's 3 tables. So that you come down the stairs and the bar's on the left side, and there are 3 tables on the right side, and they probably hold maybe 4 people at each table. And the fire pit or the chimney where the fire is built it's pretty big. Like you could probably fit a small pig in there. And so there's a nice chipper fire going, and I imagine Relic probably sat down. What do you think? At the table closest to probably in the middle, you think? And Harlech sits down on that page.
Yeah.
Or, sorry, on that...
Close to the fire.
yeah, so right in front of the fire. Harlech sits down at the same table. Brandel sits down at the same table. Quentin comes down, and probably... Druge and Quentin probably sit at the table, what do you think, next to the staircase or over by the door?
Druge will be at the end of the table, so he can unfold his chair and actually sit at the same table.
Got it. So do you think you'd be... So probably more closer to the door, because it's a little bit more room.
Because of the dog.
The dog, yep. So Marthala comes down, scurries over there, sticks herself down in the corner between Quentin and Druge. The puppy leans on her, and so she's talking kind of through everybody at Relic. So Harlech is sort of like scooting over to the end of his bench. Brandel's probably scooting over to the end of his bench. Druge is probably angling his shoulder. Right?
Harlech is taking his nose out of his book, kind of like looking around, leaning back, maybe getting up and like, well, I've got some errands to do. Maybe standing up and hovering, kind of like, should I stay or should I go?
I mean,
Should I stay or should I go?
if Brandon wants to hang out and run for mayor, he's welcome to do so. We do still have a job to do.
Right, yeah, but don't you think that the mayor would have some access to things that you might not have to?
Do we have time to wait for you to possibly become mayor, or talk the current mayor into it, or wait for an election?
Look, I'm just saying that, well, maybe we just, we pass out some petitions on the way, and maybe we ask some questions about the manor, but maybe we just, we got some petitions in our pockets and we pass them out as we go. Double duty, 2 birds, 1 stone.
That's a good
And
point.
listen, Angel, I'm still here. I haven't gone anywhere.
I know I just started feeling better again, and it's make me nauseous to say this, but I think I agree with Brandon. I think we might want to canvass the town a bit and find out a little bit more before we go poking around up at the manor, especially in the daylight.
Yeah. See? Bacon Grease agrees with me.
All right, so you guys are gonna head out to around town. As you guys are talking about what you're gonna do, Toblin comes in and he kind of overhears you, and he says, if you're gonna, and he says, pardon, I overheard your plans for the day. You're planning on talking to people about running for mayor. Is that right?
here, you have that petition you were supposed to pass around, right?
And he says,
Since, I gave you enough money to buy your inn back and all, no big deal.
of course, I'd actually like to introduce you to some folk. It'd be real good if you could, shake some hands and really hear the people. What do you say? You mind if I tag along and introduce you to some folk?
Sure, I'll grease some babies.
He looks confused.
Quentin behind him, Quentin just kind of like shake his head and like close his eyes with his hand up like that. Just go with it.
And he says, well, first stop we'll want to make is out at the orchard. Darren runs that. That's the Eldermath Orchard, and he's been around longer than. And he just starts. He heads out the door and he just starts talking about this orchard. What do you guys do?
Right, well, I reckon we should go see what this orchard is.
I'll grab a big hunk of bread and shove some bacon in the middle of it and head out the door after.
Isn't that the other way? Oh, hell.
What was that word, man? Or Brandel?
Yeah, I'll just follow the group.
Okay. Anybody stand behind?
It takes Struge longer than usual to start trailing after Quentin. He
Which
finishes.
means it takes Marthala longer too.
He takes his time finishing another bunch of eggs and seems more contemplative than usual, but eventually gets up and follows the rest out the door.
Okay. So, the path you're going to take is up a road, sort of back the way you came, and then he cuts down another side road, and you pass a small shrine, and you end up at walking through just the most gorgeous smelling apple trees. And there's a small group of buildings that you're heading towards. And you can see some people out gathering up apples. And there's an older elf standing, leaning against the doorway, watching you approach. And he says, "Toblin, you old rascal, what are you up to? Who's this now?" And Toblin says, "You're just the man I was looking for. Darren, this is Brandon. He's looking to put in his name for mayor, like." And Darren's eyebrows shoot up into his up his forehead, and he says, "Is that so? You running against old Silver,
Yeah,
huh?
right.
And old Silver and Wester?"
Yeah, I heard they weren't no good for this town, and I figure we'd bring in a fresh new look.
Is that so? And he
Sure, and it is.
And he says, "Well, why don't you come on in here?" And he leads you into a very open room. It looks like this is the kind of room that he does business in, sort of like a receiving room. And you can hear some clattering in the back, and he says, "Don't mind my wife, she's making up pies for the festival next week." And he looks you all over, and he says, "So, what brings you to this town? 'Cause it ain't for no mayorship. Tell me true what you're doing here."
Well, you ain't wrong. A mayorship would be a bonus, but here we is. We coming by to check out the manor there, and we heard it was all blowed up. So, any words on that?
And he says, he's rubbing his chin, and he says, "The manor, eh? You're, well, you got the look of adventurers
Well, let
around
me
you."
just say. Sure. And first and foremost is the safety of this town. That's really why we're here. But the manor is just a, bonus thing. You're right.
And he says, well, I might see my way to supporting you. A lot of weird things have been happening around this town, and I'm getting kind of tired of it. A lot of weird things. And he,
Oh, right.
Toblin
What
sort
kind of weird things?
coughs, and Darren says, "Oh, Toblin, you've been gossiping, you old biddy." And Toblin's like, "No, I brought him here so you could tell your tale." And Darren says, "Fine. My daughter, Beatrice, went missing the day before that damn manor blew up, and I don't know what happened to her. And that's right strange in my book. She's a good girl, and family's all bothered, and don't know what's going on down here. And there's shady dealings, and I'm getting tired of the goings on in this town, and I settled in an honest town, and I want to live in an honest town."
Oh, aye, yeah. We all want to live in an honest town, yeah.
And he says, "Yeah. Are you trying to persuade him or deceive him in some way?"
I would love to persuade him that I have the best interests in heart for the town.
Wouldn't that be deception?
Marthala is rolling her eyes every single time Brannon speaks.
Yeah, I
Good.
think it's kind of uncommon, but I think Druge is basically at the back, where he's usually somewhere towards the front.
Right. Okay. As you guys are talking. Oh, sorry. Yes.
Sorry, a couple motivations here. So I would like to get a signature for the
Petition.
petition. But at the same time, I would also like to get some information. So I'm ultimately just trying to persuade this individual that I am a trustworthy and competent person that that they can trust, not only with their vote, but also any deep dark secrets that are going on in the town.
Got it. What'd you roll?
Oh, I didn't roll yet.
Oh, yes. Those are great motivations. Please roll me some dice.
Yes, this is persuasion, yeah. Am I incorrect in thinking that I had a RP point after the last one for running for mayor?
Shish kebabs. I forgot to go over all that stuff.
I think I do, but I don't have it marked on my thing.
Let's find out here. When did we play last? I think from... Yeah, so the last time we played a session that wasn't where we actually played through, you got an RP point for campaigning at the inn. There was also just real quick, there was some honorable mentions where Quentin for random shit talking as the crowd, Relic for RP about Marthala's wings and explaining the magic poofing, Marthala for hearing Relic out about his apology but then still being mad at him, and Druge for bringing up a meal for Marthala. My apologies, I forgot to go over that at the beginning. So yes, you have an RP point.
No.
I assume y'all are going to use it?
Yep, I'm gonna cash that in now because a 3 won't do it.
Thanks. Nope.
But a 12 will. That's a dirty 20.
You have a +8?
Yeah, I do, bro.
Is there something that... Can you tell me what it looks like to try and earn his trust? You definitely do it, but like, flavor that for me. If you want, if you're like, no, I just want to wave my hands, I can wave my hands.
Absolutely not. I'm not a hand wavy type.
Yep.
Right, so I'm going to go on and talk about all my experience at this last town that we were at and how I helped the city guard single-handedly come up with the reason why there was feet getting missing, and I'm most certainly a trustworthy individual that should be running this town. Basically, I got this whole band of companions surrounding me that just want to help me and do good, and we're all about doing the right thing at all the right times, by and large. And then, I'll flip him a copper just for sake. He
catches it and he doesn't tuck it into a pocket or anything. He's just sort of tapping it on the table. And he's looking at all of you, and he looks at Toblin, and Toblin nods at him like, yeah, come on. And Darren says, well, you look like honest folk. Well, this town's fallen on hard times. We do a lot of mining around here, but there's something wrong with the mines. And I don't know much about it, but I do know that when the miners are out of work, I hire them to do odd jobs around here. And so I got what you might say some influence. But I don't like to use it. I'm just here to make an honest living. And he gestures at, apples and crap. And he says, I settled here with my wife years ago. We raised our kids after settling down, and tired of all this adventuring and nonsense. I just want everything to be calm, Do you think you can get me some calm?
Oh, certainly, my lord. We are all about the calm, finding the reasons behind the whatnot and stuff not. And we are all about bringing calm and order to a simple civilization such as yourself.
And he says, well, if you could tell me what happened up at the manor, I'd be mighty obliged to you. And he eyes your petition, and he says, I don't do anything without considerable thought. So you'll need to let me think about this, young man, and any information you can provide around what going on is happening up at that manor and stopping it would go a long way towards helping me make up my mind. And he sets the copper down.
Oh, sure.
On the table and pulls his hand away from it. And
He's not taking it.
Nope. And Toblin stands up and he's like, all right, well, thanks, Darren. We're on to the next one. And he starts to head out the door, and he looks very cheerful, like this is exactly what he wanted to happen. You guys gonna follow him?
I'll kind of
Yep.
All right, then.
And as we start to file out, say, you said there's something weird going on at the mine, but you didn't say too much.
He says,
where we might start.
He says, well, you're gonna want to talk to Sharna about that. She's over at the Miners Exchange. Toblin will show you.
Do that. Thank you much. I'm gonna step out.
When you all get outside, does anybody else linger, or are you all heading out?
Yeah, Druja's still bringing up the rear, and kind of under his breath before Quentin comes back out. It's almost like we could have dealt with that first before coming here.
You and I both know that he's going to do whatever he wants.
Is the impression, yeah.
So outside, Toblin stops a little bit down, or he's walking down the lane, and he hangs back so he's next to Relic, and he says, that's exactly what I was hoping for. Darren's a hard man to convince, and I wanted to get you in front of him early. Now, you're going to find that a lot of people in this town want to know what's going on up at that manor. It's the latest gossip and everything. So, do you know anything about what's going on up at that manor?
We can go check it out.
I reckon we should find out, right? But maybe we get all the information we can first.
And he says,
Or we could just go see for ourselves.
I mean, we could, but shouldn't we be armed with knowledge?
If we needed knowledge, we'd have asked Harlick by now.
That's actually a
Harlick will be grinning at this.
good point. Harlick, do you know anything that would tie mines to jackals? To explosions?
You sound like a crazy person.
Toblin
Well, the jackals I don't know about. I mean, mining and explosions.
Toblin says, no, the mines are all the way on the other side of town. Nowhere near the manor.
Well, they're mines, though. They go underground.
No, but they
You
go
don't
off...
think they...
Yeah, I see what you're saying, but they go off into the west and the manor's in the east. They're not connected at all.
Not that you know of.
And he grins and he goes, you know, right? You know what? You're right. I'm just an innkeeper's husband. I couldn't tell you what's underneath that manor.
Do I have any, like, when he says, I'm just an innkeeper's husband in a town that seems to be half full of ex-adventurers?
Roll me an insight check.
Okay. A little bit too much of a grin in that. Don't worry, I don't get to do things this evening. Oh, that's not too bad. Okay. Is it insight? 15?
Mm-hmm. Oh, you rolled a 15.
Yeah, I rolled a 15.
This man he's not young, he's middle-aged. He looks like he keeps in shape. But he honestly feels like he's his wife's... This is the kind of man that likes to take it easy, right? Like he helps his wife with the end, but she's the one that runs things. He putters. He probably builds most of the furniture in the inn, and he probably does a pretty hefty side business with that honey whiskey of his. But honestly, all he ever wanted out of life was a neat little family and a neat little inn to call home, and he's got that. He's not much for politics, and you feel like he kind of got dragged into this whole election thing. But he's making the best of it, and you feel like he makes the best of everything.
Okay.
And he says, next spot we're going to want to go is...
The manor.
And Toblin says, you could check out the manor if you wanted. So Sylvan, or not Sylvan, what's his name? Silder checked that out. So after a couple days, we didn't hear anything from those folk up at the manor. Silder walked up there and saw that it was in ruins, and he didn't see anybody alive, and he didn't see anything happening, just, smoke and stone. You're more than welcome to go check it out, though, if you'd like, if you think you can figure out what's going on up there. Silder's got quite a bit of experience with, adventuring and stuff, but I don't know, maybe you guys will find something. I'm more than happy to show you around whenever you'd like. There's a couple more people I think you should talk to, and he sort of puts his hand on his chin, and he says, it might be good to have that in your back pocket to know what's going on up there. Shows you care about the town, Might be good.
Yeah.
As you get down, you guys are... What was that?
No, go ahead.
I was gonna describe a new thing, so if you want to respond to Toblin, go ahead.
Is there any, magic users around? I got this new spoon that I'd like to have a look at, and our dozy wizard there can't make heads or tails of it.
Completely forgot. No,
but
wait.
that is something that can wait for another day.
Is this the group that does know what the spoons do?
Yes.
Great. There are too many of you now. And he says, well, I think the closest thing we got to magic around here, because it's not that we need it much, and there's not much for paying for it. And he says, frankly, them people up in the manor would have been your best bet of finding out anything magic. Like, they were always messing with that kind of thing. Odd.
Right, it's fine. It was a far reach anyway.
Okay. So you guys are getting back to you come down this road. Can I? Can't tell if you can see my mouse. I don't think you can. So you
Sure, we can see a little finger. Nope, that's my cursor. Never mind.
yeah, right. I was having the same problem.
Right there. It's right where my cursor. Oh, that's my cursor.
So
Okay.
you're coming down that center road that opposite of the way that points towards Triboard Trail, and you wind past the Temple of the Coin Maiden and the smithy. And as you're rounding the corner towards Stonehill Inn again, you hear an enthusiastic shout behind you, and Toblin goes, "Oh no!" And a very thin, very tall lady rushes up, and she's covered. She's draped in what look like very fine robes, but from like a decade ago, and they're way too big on her. And her eyes are wide open, and she's smiling, but it's not really a smile. It's more of like a rictus. And she says, she rushes up to you, and she starts expounding on the fortunes that will befall you if you devote yourself to Timora. Anytime you try to speak, she tries to talk over you. And Toblin turns around and he's like, "Not today, sister. No, thank you, no." And she just she's almost working herself up into a froth, and it's quite alarming because she's making these arm movements, and she's basically she's trying to get you all to come back to the shrine with her, which is this little. It's a fairly modest-looking, one-room shrine that doesn't really have a door. It's made out of stone, and it kind of looks like a pile of stone in the middle of the square. What do you guys do?
Does she seem threatening or just like full of religious fervor?
Roll me an insight check.
Cool.
Taken notes.
I'll probably go with her just because I'm still Marthala. I still kind of want to help everybody, even though I hate the world. So I will willingly go with her back to the shrine.
That was a 7 on insight, but if Marthala is just going to follow, then Druj is actually going to split off and follow Marthala.
She's not taking you back towards the shrine, actually. She just gestures back to it like it's this holy place. And if you listen at all, she gets more fervent, and she keeps talking about how fair Timora is, and how it's this is where you want to spend your devotion and your time and your money, and she's kind of edging for some donations.
Marthala,
but if you listen to her, she calms down a little bit.
Marthala will probably try like she'll pay attention to what the woman is saying and sort of repeat her own words back to her in soft, dulcet tones to sort of calm her down and get her in a less manic sort of state. And even though I don't have any money, because Relic Candle's all my money, if I have like food or something like that I can offer her, then I will do that.
She listens to you. As you clearly listen to her, she seems a little skittish around Druj, but I think Druj would pick up on that and sort of like be gentle-ish. And she says it calms her down, right? And she sort of pats your hand like you're a good girl, and she asks you to come visit her again, and gestures back towards the temple, and any spare coin or anything you can spare would be most helpful to me and myself and the temple. I'm a very important figure here in town. Toblin is rolling his eyes like there's just no.
Marthala will probably make a quick glance at Relic and then sort of look at her feet and shake her head really fast, and she'll kind of turn and look at Druge and like give a sort of a miniature shrug.
Is Druge? Yep.
Yeah, he's. What did he pick up from rolling a 7 on insight? Aside
She
from
doesn't. She doesn't ping your dangerous. Like, she's not pinging on your danger meter. You're not sure if this is kind of an act or not. Yeah, you're just not quite sure whether this is, whether it's an act or not.
Cool. I think he's shifted babysitter mode from Quentin to Marthala at this point.
Oh yeah, you think?
So he'll pull 30 copper out of a pouch and drop it into Marthala's hands with a trunk.
I actually won't take it directly from him. I will sort of usher. I want to sort of direct him so that he's giving the money directly to her. Like, I don't feel good being the intermittent party there.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead. It's fine.
As the sister sees the money, and she holds, and you give it to her, she clutches it to her chest, and she says, "Anything in my power, I will give to you."
Okay.
He makes that noise.
What was that?
Sorry.
That's okay. And she says, What do you seek? If it is within my power, I will give you any information I know. What do you seek?
Well, I don't know that we seek anything in particular right now. Do you know what's going on up at the mansion, perchance?
And she says, "Yes, I do. I know many things about the manor. What do you want to know?"
Oh, well, we heard that there might be something strange happening, perhaps some danger, and
Yes.
we're sort of used to dealing with that sort of thing. Do you know what's up there?
Yes. Months ago, a group rolled into town, much like yourselves, and they too asked a lot of questions. And she pats her hand. She doesn't mean anything by it. And she says they started fixing up the manor, and they declared themselves the Fellowship of the Golden Mongoose, and they kept very much to themselves. They only came to town. I did not make up the name. Do not laugh at me. They kept very much to themselves, and they only came to town. They were never patrons of mine, sadly. But they're renting the manor from Harbin, Wester. And every once in a while, they would slip off and go on wild adventures, I'm sure. And she just sort of keeps repeating that information in different forms over and over again.
Oh, okay. What was your name, my dear?
And she says, "Sister Garel."
Sister Garel. I'm Marthala. It's very nice to meet you. We have to be going now. There are a few errands we have to run, but is it okay if I come and check on you?
Yes. And she just turns around and walks away.
Marthala will sort of turn to face Druge with the look on her face is one seeking approval. Sort of like, did I do a good?
Did I do it?
And there's kind of a one-ear flap that is the equivalent of a Loxodon shrug. He's not necessarily sure if she did a good, but it also doesn't seem like she necessarily did a bad. Did I get the sense that she is just a crazy person ranting about golden mongooses, or that there's any legitimacy to that, or if anyone else overheard that.
That's probably one of the only things Toblin didn't roll his eyes about. And as she walks away, he sort of watches her go, and he says, well, she might be an eccentric old bat, but she's not wrong. Those folk up on the hill were mighty odd, and who's ever heard of the Fellowship of the Golden Mongoose? Isn't that the damnedest thing you ever did hear? So it seems like her
It's
information is accurate.
quite weird.
People have worshipped far stranger things. I don't see any reason to doubt what she says.
And Toblin says, no, she worships Timora, the goddess of luck. If you ever run across one of those folk out in the wild, you best turn tail and run. They are mighty odd. And you guys did actually run into an agent of Timora. If you
Is
do.
that the naked
Oh.
bear in the woods?
Yep. Sure enough is.
Well, I'll be.
And he says, but the Fellowship, they were the ones living up in the manor. They were renting it from Wester. And they were always up to odd things. They were up at all hours and weird flashes, and sometimes some of them would be in town and sometimes others wouldn't. It was the damnedest thing. But she's harmless. She's just, we all pitch in to keep her fed and stuff, and she tells us about Timora and whatnot, and she's mostly harmless though. But she's good. She's a good person.
Well, then, should we talk to this dude that they was renting from?
And
Or
he's-
we could just go look ourselves.
And he says, Wester? No, you're running against Harbin Wester. I don't know if you want to talk to him right now. And he certainly won't be able to tell you anything about the manor. He never goes up there. He expects everyone that pays him rent to come to him. So, we are
That's
about...
fair. I think that
go
he
ahead.
lost his inn recently.
And Toblin grins and he's like, well, we haven't quite negotiated that yet, and he's a bit of a mean negotiator, but we're definitely paid up on our rent for a while, so that would be good. My wife and I have been talking about actually seeing if we could talk the deed out of him, but that's going to be a tough sell. Now, if a friend of ours was the mayor, that might make things a bit different, if you see where I'm going. He's not trying to be subtle.
I smell it was stepping in.
And he says, now that I think about it, it might make sense for you all to go get information about the manor. He wouldn't say information. Know all about the manor, because a bunch of people around here are going to have questions about it, and if you know what happened, then you'll be able to answer their questions, and Harbin can't do that. He looks
This is
real
right.
pleased.
This
That's
is true,
a
mate.
Good idea.
Okay, so we're at about halfway through. Y'all want to take a quick bio break? Maybe about 10 minutes?
Sure.
Come back and
sounds
decide what
good.
you guys are going to do next? Okay. I will see you back here by... Yeah, shoot, we're at 7:20. Are we ending at 8 today, folks?
I guess. I don't know.
I mean, I can go
You're-
later if I want to.
Europe. Yes.
That's real late for us.
It's real late for you guys.
Time zones exist.
We can either take a bio break or push through another about 30 minutes. You guys okay with that?
Let's just push through.
All right.
I'm fine.
I'm sorry, I lost track of time.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. That's fine.
If anybody needs to duck out for a bio break, go ahead and somebody else will update you in the chat. All right, so what are you guys doing? Toblin says, I can take you down to the miners' exchange, or you know your way up to the manor. Wife will have some luncheon ready for you if you want to grab that on your way.
I reckon we best go find out what's going on at this manor.
All right.
And he says, excellent. Now, what I'm going to do while you're doing that is I'm going to go try and get some people together so that they can come back to the inn so you can give them a right talking to this evening. And I'll be able to tell them that you've got some know all about the manor, yes?
Yeah, sounds like a great idea. Just go ahead and get them to sign that petition beforehand, and they'll come back and give them a rousing speech.
Sure thing. And he heads off in one direction. Well, you guys head off in the other. So you guys are heading up to the manor?
Yep.
All right. So I'm going to cover some of the same ground we covered before because it's been a while.
It's been a while.
This was once a small but elegant estate, but it is now a ruined building, and it's sitting on a hill overlooking Fandon. You can tell that the manor had been abandoned for a very long time, but there are recent signs that the manor had been started to be rebuilt, and of course all of that's been shattered. So it says, many of the crumbled walls of the manor show signs of having been recently rebuilt, but even that newer stonework has been toppled and smashed. It's coated everything in the area with a thick layer of dust. Temporary structures seemingly set up to aid the reconstruction have been badly damaged by force and fire, but there are a couple of wooden buildings still standing amid the destruction. Now, you guys headed over towards... I believe one of you was able to tell that the fire damage wasn't natural last time. Does that sound about right?
Yeah, I think Karlik picked up. Somebody picked up on that because of magic.
It was probably Harley.
It was Karlik.
Probably,
was
but
me.
I don't remember.
I think it was Harley.
And the last time you were here, you heard jackals in the central courtyard.
Yeah, we heard some.
So
growling.
as you approach the courtyard, can I get some perception checks from y'all?
Sure. As an aside, as we're getting down towards the banner, the dust swords will go back up.
Sure.
Oh,
And of course, mage armor.
Ooh.
I rolled a 5.
Pog.
Cool.
10.
Cool.
Well, I'm taller than Brannon, so I rolled the nat 20.
I also rolled a nat 20.
You guys see all the
Hot
thing.
diggity.
Tall boys.
Brandon rolled a 13, and Harlock, what do you got?
16.
All right.
13.
Yeah, I saw your 13. Okay, so
Okay.
everybody but Relic actually hears something moving around in there. Now, Quentin and Druge can tell that these are the jackals. These sound just like the jackals you guys heard last night. Harlock can tell that there's some kind of animals in there. Do you guys enter the courtyard?
I think I'd kind of put a hand out to stop people from walking forward.
I ignore the hand.
And
Uh-oh.
Let's go.
I mean, I'm not gonna stop her. She's way bigger than me. But I'll kind of like look to Druge, like, what do you want to do here?
Well, she's gonna go whether or not we wait. And the glaive will come off his back, and he will follow her in.
She's drawing her sword as she's walking.
There are numerous brown and gray jackals prowling the ruins. Some of them are gnawing on bones. Others are sniffing and digging at a pile of stones at the center of the manor courtyard. As you enter, one of the jackals turns and snarls at you.
How far away is it?
They're about 10 feet away as you turn the corner into the courtyard. There are, I will let you guys do another perception check before y'all roll for initiative, and we'll get started on this before we end for the evening. But go ahead and roll
16.
16.
Perception.
Perception and initiative?
Just roll perception real quick, and I will talk at you, and then I'll have you roll initiative.
13.
Okay. 10.
15.
21.
Dang.
21.
Quentin?
18.
So you all can tell that there so the jackals have stirred up this dust that's coating everything, so it's so vision is a little bit obscured, but you can tell that there are 10 jackals. What did you roll, Marthala? You rolled a 16?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's see here. Yeah, screw it. Relic, you can tell that that one of the jackals has a satchel slung across its back.
That's weird.
Sure is. All right, everybody roll me a initiative, please.
21.
Oh, dang. Hang on. You're faster
Wait.
than him. 1 second.
20.
That was perception. That was 21 then. If this is, sorry, I thought we were rolling initiative. My bad.
You also know that there is a
Great.
backpack. Give me a second while I make the combat thingy.
No problem.
All right, you said Marthala had a 21.
Correct.
What's Quentin got?
Well, since nat ones don't count against initiative, I got a 5.
Cool. Druge?
14.
Relic?
6.
Brandel?
20.
Harlech?
13.
All right. Give me 1 second to organize all this. Any questions before we get started?
About how far away from us are all of them?
I just realized that I don't have a map for this.
That's fine.
I think I can whip one up real quick, though. Just looking at the time.
Map schmap.
Yeah, it's fine. How,
So, the courtyard is, I'll say, about 30 feet square. The courtyard's about 30 feet square. The jackals are spread all around it. I said there were 10 of them, so there's 4 or 5. There's about 4. I'll say there's 4 over in the center actively digging a hole. There are 2 more watching that. And one of the 2 that's watching is the one wearing the satchel. And then the other 4 are arranged sort of around the edges, there's 2 in the back sort of gnawing on bones, and there are 2 near the entrance of the courtyard. Okay.
They look like we could talk to them.
Not unless you can talk to animals.
I can.
Yeah, probably.
I can't understand them though. I can only talk one way. It's a one-way.
Good.
That's not helpful.
Yep. Nope. Not at all.
I can talk to all animals.
We can talk to Hodor and he doesn't understand us.
Now, speak with animals is slightly different than talk to animals.
Right. There's the difference.
Damn it. Alright, let me put this crap in order. Give me 1 second. I gotta do... Okay, let's see here. I'm so disorganized today, folks. I'm sorry. Let's see that one, and then this one. And then this one. And then... Yeah, I got some really low rolls around here, yeah?
yeah, about that. I think I was standing too close to the halfling.
Oh, he
What?
infected your roll?
Yeah,
That sounds right.
that's where I'm going with.
It doesn't seem logical.
Alright, so, unsurprisingly, Marthala is up first. There is a jackal next to you that is snarling.
Okay.
Would you
I'm,
guys like me to try and whip up a map real quick, or can we talk through this?
I think if it's 30 feet square, any one of us can get anywhere, and
Yeah, that's kind of why I did that.
Yeah, I think
no,
we're
I
alright.
don't. I don't need a map.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we're good.
Alright. Alright, yeah.
We all good.
What's Marthala doing?
Marthala is, without breaking her stride, she's gonna pull out her great sword and sort of do a little flourish with it, and then attempt to cleave the closest Jekyll in twain.
In twain.
Cool.
And that is a 26
Cross
to
the
hit.
crown.
That hits.
I was gonna say it better.
It sure
If
does.
you're gonna cut it in twain, would you say you might mark it?
What?
Terrible.
He's
Really
being
terrible.
the worst.
I see what you did
Fired.
there, and I'm upset.
That would be 11 points of slashing damage.
Well, yeah, you cut that little son of a bitch right in half. Okay, yeah, you slice right the hell through it.
Oh,
And then with whatever is remaining of my movement, I will move on to the next one.
Do you have a bonus action where you can kill two things at once?
No, I'm just walking towards it.
Got it. Cool. Sorry.
Well, I mean, I
that was-
do. Is there another one that I can make it to?
Yeah, there's one, like, right next to it, like, about 10... There's...
Oh, okay. Then yeah, I'll go ahead
There's-
and blow my action surge to attack it.
If you walk, like, in between them, you can basically, like, slice down on one side and slice down on the other.
Sure, we'll do that.
Okay. Roll to hit.
That's a 21 to hit.
Yes, that hits. Roll damage.
That's 13 points of slashing damage.
You also chop that little thing in half.
Sweet.
So there are now four pieces of two jackals to either side of you, and the other jackals stare at you in absolute terror.
as they should.
All right, Brandel, you're up next. What are you doing?
How many jackals are there? I mean, I don't
There are
know.
8 jackals left. One of them is wearing a backpack.
Huh.
They're all snarling at you and closing in.
I will use my bonus action
Mm-hmm.
to disappear.
I am Jack's complete lack of surprise.
Anything else you
Wow.
want to do?
I will run to the side somewhere where I'm not directly in front of the jackals, and I will. Yeah, I will sleep the jackals. Why not?
All right.
Is that the kind of invisibility that
I'm trying to sleep the one that has the backpack.
Uh-huh.
Just.
That works. Do you have to concentrate on your invisibility spell? Like, if you cast a spell, does it remove your invisibility?
No, it's like it's a firbolg thing, so
Okay.
it's just a.
Cool.
It basically lasts one round,
Okay.
and at the end of my next turn, I'm visible again.
All right, cast that sleep spell.
Yes, I have to roll. Wait. Where does it go?
You have to...
Oh, 5d8.
Isn't it like second level for you now?
Yeah. So he rolls
That is
5d8.
Second level. Wait.
So it'd be 78
Oh.
at second level.
78. Okay. That's a lot of d8.
And you're aiming at the jackal with the backpack?
Yeah, I don't know how close he is to Marthala. I'm trying to not hit Marthala, but
If you put me to sleep, I'm going to use my sword on you.
I.
Well, roll your
probably not.
5d8
I don't
and we
think
will
you
talk
have
about
enough. Okay. 70.
70? 70?
No, 7.
17.
D8.
Wait,
No. Wait.
what?
7 like the number.
27. I got 27.
You rolled 27. Okay.
Yeah.
So, creatures within 20 feet of a point you choose are affected in ascending order of their current hit points. Does that mean... So I start with the creature with the lowest current hit points.
Yes.
So you shot at the jackal with the backpack, which is standing and looking over the 4 jackals that were digging, and there was another watch, so there were 6 of them over there. So... And they're all within 20 feet of each other. So... And you rolled a 27.
It's a... Yeah, it's a 20 feet sphere.
Yep. Give me 1 second while I do a bunch of math.
No problem.
Marthala, how many hit points do you have?
34.
Cool.
Oh, just for the record, I'm invisible, but you see a bunch of flower petals just appear out of the air as I cast sleep.
For no reason.
Like a lei, like one might see on a Hawaiian beach.
On a beach.
Oh, well, I mean, I don't know, I guess?
Canon.
That sounds right. So the five jackals around the one with the satchel immediately slump to the ground and fall asleep. The one with the satchel shakes all its fur, and you notice that it seems to be a little bigger than the rest of the jackals. It snarls at you. It has not fallen asleep. And Marthala, you do not fall asleep either.
Bad move. Should have just shot him.
Hang on, I gotta figure out which jackals you just put to sleep. Okay, so you put 5 jackals to sleep. That means there are 4 still awake and coming towards you. You've used your bonus action and your action. So
it's not concentration, right? They're just asleep. Like that's it.
Yeah, that's a good question. They are asleep until the spell ends, and it lasts for 1 minute. They take damage, or someone uses an action to shake or slap them awake.
Oh, okay.
Episode 30, Slapping Jackals.
There is a jackal.
Aren't there only 3 still awake?
Oh, you killed 2 of them. Yes, sorry, I forgot to write down that you killed the other one. My apologies. Thank you for reminding me. Yeah, so there are only 3 still awake. There were the 2 that were chewing on bones and the one with the satchel. Okay, so one of the ones that was chewing on bones is... No, don't do that. Is going to lunge forward at Marthala and try to bite you.
Okay.
Oh no.
It doesn't do anything useful. So what do we want this to look like? I'm really inspired by kittens right now. So I think it tries to lunge at you, but it like falls short. So it like snaps at the air in front of your face, but it doesn't quite it doesn't get close enough. Does that sound all right? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Bite at Marthala, but miss. Drews, you're up.
You said there was a group of about 4 in the middle.
There are 6 of them in the middle. 5 of them
Okay.
are asleep, and 1 is still standing.
Great. Drew's just had kind of a frustrating 48 hours.
Yeah.
And as a bonus action, he would like to rage.
Sure.
And as he starts charging forward, he actually just collapses in on himself and reappears in the middle of all 5 of them and
The
teleports
fuck?
20 feet.
What
I'm
the
sorry,
damn
what?
hell?
Was that?
And when he reappears, like as he's breathing, the runes pulse in and out. And I would like to make a reckless attack against the one that is still awake.
I'd be
As you
surprised
teleport
there, what?
basically in front of this jackal, there is panic in the jackal's eyes that is a little more humanoid than you're used to. Roll to hit.
That is a 18 to hit.
That hits. Roll damage.
Great. "13 points of slashing damage."
Great. That's your glaive, right?
Yeah, that is the glaive.
Okay. You do a great deal of damage, but it is still standing. It is yipping in fear, and trying desperately to get away from you. Harlech, what are you doing? Sorry, Drew, you used your action or your bonus action. Do you have anything else?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Harlech, what are you doing?
Sounds like a Toll the Dead.
Cool. I don't remember what that does, but cool. Tell me.
That is a wisdom saving throw. Can you tell me what the number is before you say whether it hits or not?
Do I have to? I usually don't share that number. I usually say whether it hits or not.
Technically, no.
Hang on, I'm looking up what Toll the Dead does. I'll answer you in a minute. Give me a second.
It does a D12.
Oh, so this is just a damage thing. That sounds
Yeah,
scary.
it's whether it hits.
What's your spell DC? Yeah, 13. It's gonna beat that. I'll tell you that.
Like pretty much automatically?
Not automatically. It just beats it.
Oh. What if it rolled a 4?
Then it wouldn't beat it.
That's what it's going to do then.
Fair enough. What are you using for that?
Portent.
Divination wizards, man.
Super handy.
Fair enough. All right. Roll damage.
Oh man, of course my D12 isn't out.
What? That's Diana's favorite dice.
I'm staring at
Good
like
die.
6 of them right now.
They've got the most surface area for the most pretty.
I like the D10s.
D10s are the most prone to
6.
chipping.
6 damage.
The more you know.
That's correct.
And what's your Toll of the Dead sound like again?
There's kind of like a weird creepy bell, and then like purplish black smoke comes out of the target. Specifically the wounds if they've got wounds.
Gross.
Super creepy looking.
Agreed. That smoke pours out of the wounds in their side and their mouth, and they flicker between the shape of a humanoid and the shape of a jackal, and then it falls dead, half jackal, half human.
Where
other-
jackals?
The other jackals panic and run away.
That was the one with the backpack, right?
Yes, you killed the one with the backpack. They scramble up and over the walls in the ruins, and they are gone, except for the sleeping ones. So only 2 of them run away.
Are we still in initiative or no?
I like to wait to see if anybody's like, well, I want to try and kill the things that are asleep or running away. But if none of you want to kill them, then yeah, you guys are out of initiative.
Drew's is raging and will absolutely murder everything that is.
I mean,
Yeah,
the only one
Marthalo
the one I
is
really was
is
interested
murdering
about was
too,
the one with the
but
bag.
Brandon hasn't
Yeah.
even gotten to take his turn yet.
I know, but so that's the thing, is like you ended the fight by killing the werejackal. The other jackals are gonna run away, but there are 5 jackals still asleep on the ground. But they're gonna stay asleep for a minute.
Yeah. Magic.
So whose turn is it?
It's either Quentin or Relic.
Technically it's Brandon's turn, or Relic's
Yep.
turn.
Brandon goes before me.
No, I'm not gonna burn a spell slot for that. That's silly.
Do it.
I'll mock one of the sleeping jackals with vicious mockery. You dozy dog, you just fall asleep there and that you might get murdered. So that is a wisdom saving throw. DC 14.
Fails.
All right, it takes a whole 1 psychic damage.
Good, just enough to wake it up.
So, yeah, so,
And it has disadvantage on the next attack roll it makes before the end of its next turn.
so it stumbles to its feet and shakes its head and starts to come towards you. Do you have a bonus action you want to use?
Who's left to go? Quentin
Quentin's next,
has
yeah.
not taken a turn yet. No, I'm not gonna give him bardic inspiration.
Why
Okay.
would
No.
you help me?
As it's
Um,
charging towards Brennan, does it leave my reach?
I don't think it actually, like, it's sort of aimed in that direction. Its turn isn't until next round because we've passed
Okay,
it.
cool.
So it's not really moving. I just was storing it.
Cool. Got it. Carry on.
Quentin, you're up.
All right. So I think I'm gonna try and take the opportunity to work with his dog, and were any of the ones that were damaged or put to sleep already damaged?
Nope.
Or the ones that
I don't
damaged
think
flat
so.
out died because
I don't think so. I was
We
going
have-
for the one
okay.
with the bag. So.
There are 4 asleep. There is 1 dead, and there is 1 awake and groggy. And the other 2
think
ran
I'm-
away.
I'm gonna.
I
There are 2
insulted
other
it
ones
to awake.
Yeah.
You gave it
Okay.
a name, Randy.
Yeah, I think I'm going to tell my dog to attack the one that's just woken up. It seems like an easy training target,
Wow.
and if nothing happens, I can be here to get his back. So it's a good.
He we didn't talk about this, Liz.
Oh, okay.
No, it's okay. I don't know what to do. He looks at you and he looks at the jackal, and he looks at you and he kind of tucks his tail between his legs, and he like pulls the teeth, the lips back from his teeth to be like,
I'll say good job, buddy, and then I'll Was that my action to command him, or is that just story?
I think we're gonna call that story.
Okay.
For
so
today.
Good job, buddy. And then I'm going to use my bonus action to face step behind it and just rapier it in the back of the neck.
Great, roll to hit. To be clear, you instructing the dog has to follow all the rules once it's all powered up and shit. We're just storing the power up because it's cute.
Sure. Don't think it matters. I rolled a 2 plus 6. Is an 8 total.
That misses.
Yep. Cool.
It would
That's
look
my
really
turn.
cool though.
I like that you teleported for that.
Yeah.
Yep. It's about how it usually goes.
I mean, even Druge is better than teleporting at you.
Apparently.
Wow. All right, we're back
True.
up to the top of the round. Marthala, there are 4 jackals asleep on the ground, 1 groggy with Quentin standing behind it, 3 3 dead ones and 2 fled. What you doing?
What is closest to me?
There is the groggy one is within your reach.
All right, I will take a swing at it.
All right.
That's a 26 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
Jeez. That's where all my numbers went.
I keep rolling 19s though. Like I wish I could just crit and
Don't you crit on 19s? Aren't you a champion?
no.
Okay.
No.
Hey.
Thanks for rubbing that in.
Wow.
11, 16 points
Aren't
of
you a champion?
16 points of
No.
slashing damage.
No, just as like the class.
So you you once again slice through the dog or the jackal, and it is just like it just falls into 2 pieces. Bonus action.
Nope. None to speak of.
Great, Brandel. What are you up to?
You poof back into visibility
Sure.
and just give a nod to myself. And I'm gonna walk. I want to walk towards the dead jackal to check out the backpack. I assume everyone else is gonna take care of the dead jackal. So yeah, I'm just gonna walk in that direction, and I don't know if I use my action to like look at the backpack or something.
How about you hold that thought for a second? Okay.
No problem.
Those
Yeah, I'll
ones.
just walk that direction.
These ones all ran away or are asleep. Which one did you wake up? You woke up this one. But then you killed it. Second one's dead. Okay, we're up to Druge. Druge, what are you up to?
So there are 3 sleeping around me.
There are
4 sleep.
4 sleeping and 4 dead and 2 fled.
Cool. And all the ones who are sleeping are within reach of me.
Yeah, I think you've got that dumb polearm stuff, so yeah, I think they're all within
Yep.
reach.
Fantastic. And if they're all asleep on the ground, I auto crit. Is that correct?
I don't know if it's an auto crit. I think you have a they're at
I'm
disadvantage.
fairly sure it's an auto crit.
Hey, sure. I mean, honestly, it doesn't super matter. So I'm gonna say sure. That sounds good. You could only hit
Hang on,
2 at a time, right?
Skewered them to the ground.
Yeah, any attack, because it's unconscious, so anything that hits it is a crit if I'm within 5 feet of it. So
Got it. Go for it.
So, still raging recklessly. First one is a 21 to hit.
That hits.
Hang on, math. 26 points of damage.
Jesus.
You,
Jackal jelly.
yeah, like it could not be more dead.
Unless.
Fantastic.
Unless Marcella happened to be standing next to you.
Bonus action, other end of the glaive into the next sleeping jackal.
Okay. Roll to hit.
19.
That hits. Roll damage.
Another 8 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay, you murdered another one.
Fantastic. I think I'm done now.
Testigo.
So now there are. This one's dead. Yeah, this one's dead. Okay, it is
Jackal jelly.
Harlock's turn. There are 2 sleeping ones, 4 dead ones, 6 dead ones, and 2 fled ones. What you doing?
rushing
flat or
forward to
flat?
stop. Rushing forward to stop Brennan before he touches the.
Ooh.
Ah. Okay.
Really, I want to like examine it and maybe sketch it, and that's about it.
Okay. And you guys are all dead or run away. Relic, you're up.
So there's just two sleeping
There's 2 sleeping.
were-jackals and then a bunch of
Just 6 dead ones.
jackal jelly.
Yeah. There's just bits and pieces all around. It's gross.
Right, then I'm just going to check around and see if there's anything to look at, because I'm not going to waste any more things on these dead jackals.
Quentin, what are you up to?
I think I'm just gonna stand there and no, I'm gonna pull out the drums and see if I can't help Drew's calm down a little bit.
Give him a ranger inspiration.
Ranger inspiration.
Now I can go into a 3rd round of combat if Marthala and Druge want to continue murdering things.
Marthala's gonna continue going murder hobo until someone stops her. So,
I mean, there's only 2 jackals.
Is
yeah,
anyone
like-
going to stop you? Because I'm willing to just let you slit these little bastards' throats and you're done.
I mean,
Because they're not really, they're not gonna wake up before you kill them. Like, yeah.
is anyone stopping her? Because otherwise, no,
Yeah.
she's gonna kill them.
I mean, I'm currently trying to stop
Care.
All right.
Drew.
There are now 8 dead jackals in the yard. One of them is wearing a backpack. 2 of them have run away. Brandel and Harlech are clustered around the big dead jackal. Druge, are you calming down at all?
It probably takes a bit longer than usual. Like, as much as his rages have been more controlled lately, this one is not.
Okay.
It takes a bit for that to kick in.
Okay. Relic and Marthala, what are you doing once the fighting dies down?
My father, that was a little bit more bloodthirsty than you're used to. Are you quite alright, dear?
She'll probably just sort of ignore him and lean on her sword for a few minutes, regaining her breath.
Okay. Brando, you go ahead and reach into the bag, and sorry, Quentin, you're playing drums at Druge.
Yeah, I was just trying to get him
Great.
to calm down.
Brando, you reach into the bag, and there you find 50 gold and a potion of climbing.
Hog. Let's go.
Okay, finds 50 gold, potion of climbing. This is where we're gonna leave it for tonight, because it's getting a little late. So let's go ahead and run through. So really quickly, you are surrounded by dead jackals. Brandel has a 50 gold in one hand and a potion of climbing in the other. You've all just murdered a bunch of jackals, and this is where we're gonna end it for the evening, and we'll pick up here next week. What did you guys learn today? And
Jackal murder.
as you're thinking about learns, after this we'll do role-playing point nominations. Chat, I take nominations from you guys and from the players on particularly good role-playing moments from this evening, and then the players vote on MVP, as it were, and they get a role-playing point for next time, which means they get advantage on a roll. So, you guys learned about jackal murder?
Jackal murder.
Okay, what else?
Learned that the orchard owner's daughter went missing right before the whole thing blew up, quite literally.
He talked about some shady business going on.
There were some very strange
is a
people in
mine.
the mansion.
Oh, hang on a second. He talked about shady stuff. You said creepy people in manor?
Yeah.
Creepy people in manor. And mines, you said? Mines?
Yep, there's some mines that we didn't know about.
Okay.
Mine.
Nine.
Okay. Anything else you learned?
Apparently, you worship golden mongooses and worship at shrines to the luck goddesses, which are separate entities, apparently.
The luck god also is also around here, so maybe it's kind of an area thing.
You mean in relation to the naked guy in the forest?
Yep.
Yes. Well, same religion.
Okay. Anything else you learned?
The innkeeper seemed concerned that even though he has all the money, he won't be able to just buy his deed outright. That didn't seem like a done deal, even
Yeah,
though he's got enough money.
We'll see what we can do about that.
Yeah, I think we have some ideas.
I mean, we could just charm the mayor, to be honest.
Yeah.
Good. Let's just jump.
Or murder him.
Okay. Anything else you guys learned? Or you want to roll into role-playing points?
I mean, Marthala is down with the day drinking.
Just this once.
Other things y'all learned?
It's a slippery slide.
Okay. Let's do role-playing points. So, let me get that set up. Stop that. Yeah. Today is 23rd. All right, what do you guys got for role-playing points?
20.
And remember, I do accept these from chat as well. Role-playing points? What was that?
Brandel for immediately going invisible.
Yes,
You said you were coming my way.
that was good.
Okay.
Even
good-
the slightest threat of danger, invisible.
Other good role-playing moments?
I would say the tank
Um,
bros were just going ham on everything.
Yeah, I was gonna say Druj and Marthala for murdering
Killing
sleeping
jackals.
dogs.
Yeah,
Can't just let him lie.
no, beat me to it.
For not letting sleeping dogs lie. Murdering them.
Yep, you're all fired. Okay. Other good role-playing moments?
I think hungover Quentin's pretty funny. I think the effect that it had on Brandon and his ability to fuck with hungover Quentin was pretty funny.
Yeah, all of that's real good.
Okay. Other good role-playing moments? You guys ready to vote?
I think
Vote.
relic glad handing orchard odors with copper that doesn't actually get taken is really entertaining.
That was pretty good too. Look how generous I am. Nah, I'm good.
I will ply him with facts about his daughter. I'll get that vote. Don't you worry none.
Careful how you position
sounded
that.
interesting. Okay, go ahead and vote. So we've got Brandel for immediately going invisible, Tank Bros for going ham on everything and murdering sleeping dogs, Hungover Quentin is funny and the effect it had on Brandon was amusing, and Relic for glad handing orchard owners with copper that did not get taken was pretty good. All right. I've got 3 votes. 4. There's 6 of you, so I need 2 more.
Do we have a sword? Oh, I have a sword. This was pretty good.
That looks like a penis.
Tiniest. It's just like
It looks pretty floppy. That's weird. Okay, so I've
We'll just do a weasel.
okay. So I got all my votes. Looks like Brandel is gonna take the role-playing point for this week for immediately going invisible. Hooray!
yay.
All right, folks. We'll see you next week. I hope you all have a wonderful evening, and thank you so much for joining us. Stream, you're my favorite, and we'll see you next week. Yeah. Everybody say bye, Stream. Bye,
Bye,
Stream.
Stream.